What's up, everybody? This is Big Sarge back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what the 12 Whiskey or the Carpentry and Masonry Specialist is, in case you want to do this if you decide to join the U.S. Army. So let's get into it. If you've ever driven past a military base and wondered who exactly is building all of those barracks, offices, training facilities, and even the roads, well, the answer is more than likely a company that won a government contract with the DoD. But you may also find some soldiers out there helping out on projects as well. And one of the Army jobs dedicated to that kind of construction work is the 12 Whiskey MOS, or the Carpentry and Masonry Specialist. And this isn't just about swinging a hammer or mixing concrete. It's about being the backbone of building and maintaining Army infrastructure, both in the U.S. and overseas. So whether it's putting up a new barracks building, constructing defensive fighting positions, or repairing airstrips and bridges, 12 Whiskeys are the hands-on builders of the Army. So let me go ahead and break down exactly what this MOS is all about, what the soldiers do on a day-to-day basis, how the training works, and the types of career opportunities it could lead to both inside and outside of the Army. So let's go. Exactly what is the 12 Whiskey MOS? So the U.S. Army classifies jobs using a system called MOS, or Military Occupational Specialty. And the 12 series belongs to the Army Engineering Branch, which covers everything from combat engineers to construction specialists. So 12 Whiskey, once again, that is the Carpentry and Masonry Specialists, and their primary role is to build and repair structures, facilities, and sometimes fortifications. And the locations you'll find them are in garrison environments and deployed settings, whether out there in combat zones, doing field exercises, or disaster relief missions. So if you're the type of person who likes to build things, solve problems with your hands, and see the immediate results of your labor, then this MOS might be exactly what you're looking for. All right, so let's talk about exactly what does a 12 Whiskey actually do. So when you hear the term carpenter or mason, you probably picture someone building a house or laying bricks, and that is accurate. But in the Army, the scope is wider. So here's a breakdown. So 12 Whiskeys, they do engage in carpentry work, such as constructing wooden frameworks for buildings, building forms for concrete, for sidewalks, walls, or foundations, creating furniture or shelving for use on bases, and repairing doors, windows, and flooring in facilities. They also do masonry work, where they lay brick, block, or stone. They mix and pour concrete. They build walls, walkways, or airstrip repairs, and they set up protective barriers or defensive positions. When it comes to military-specific projects, they construct bunkers and guard towers. They repair runways or helipads for aviation operations. They build bridges and temporary facilities during field exercises. And they support disaster relief missions like fixing schools, hospitals, and water facilities in partner nations. And they also engage in repair and maintenance. So Army bases, these are basically small cities. And 12 Whiskeys help keep them running by maintaining buildings, repairing damaged structures, and ensuring everything is safe and functional. All right, so let's talk about the training to become a 12 Whiskey. So like every MOS, the path starts with basic combat training, and that is the standard 10 weeks every soldier goes through to learn the Army fundamentals such as shooting, physical fitness, first aid, teamwork, and discipline. And after basic training, you're going to get shipped off to AIT, or Advanced Individual Training. And for the 12 Whiskey MOS, AIT takes place at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, which is the home to the Army Engineering School. And the things that you're going to learn at AIT are the basics of carpentry, such as measuring, cutting, reading blueprints, and framing. You're going to learn some masonry skills. We're going to learn how to lay brick and block, mix mortar, and building with stone. You're going to do some concrete finishing, where you're going to be pouring, leveling, smoothing, and curing. You're going to learn about construction safety, where you're going to be using power tools, handling materials safely, and wearing protective equipment. And then there are various military construction tasks you're going to be learning about, such as fortifications, field structures, and expedient repairs. So basically, AIT, this is a mix of classroom learning, where once again, you're going to be learning about blueprints, design, and some math skills, combined with some hands-on practice, where you're actually out there building walls and pouring concrete and a whole bunch of other stuff. By the time you graduate, you will have real-world construction experience, and these skills can be used inside and outside of the Army. All right, so let's talk about the day-to-day life of a 12 Whiskey. So exactly what do they do every single day? Well, that depends on where you're stationed and whether you're at home or deployed. So if you're in a garrison environment, you're obviously going to start your day doing physical fitness training. After that, you're going to do some work orders, where you might be out there fixing doors in the barracks, repairing broken sidewalks, or helping with new construction projects. Or you might find yourself on larger projects where you're out there renovating old buildings, putting up storage facilities, or constructing training ranges. If you are deployed, your tasks will often shift towards rapid construction or fortification. You might be building bunkers, airstrips, or temporary housing for soldiers. And during humanitarian missions, you might find yourself rebuilding schools or community buildings after disasters. So basically, whether you're in the US or abroad, the day usually involves hands-on building, teamwork, and problem solving. Let's talk about the skills that you will gain as a 12 whiskey. So the Army loves to say that soldiers are trained for both military and civilian success. And for 12 whiskeys, that is especially true. So here's what you'll walk away with. So once again, carpentry skills. You're going to learn about woodworking, framework, cabinetry, and blueprint reading. You're going to have masonry skills where you're going to learn how to lay brick and stone, concrete finishing, and mix some mortar. You're going to learn about construction safety. So you're going to have OSHA style safety training and learning how to use your protective equipment. You're going to learn about teamwork and leadership because you're going to be working with engineering units and leading small crews. And you're going to be out there solving problems in the field to where you're going to be out there figuring out how to make things work with limited tools or time. And many of these skills, they are directly transferable into civilian construction and contracting jobs. All right, so let's talk about some civilian career opportunities after getting out of the military. So one of the biggest advantages of this MOS is how transferable it is to the civilian world. So when you leave the Army, you're not just going to walk away with military discipline, but you're also going to have construction skills that can pay you very well. And some civilian career paths include becoming a carpenter, whether you're working on residential, commercial, or industrial construction. You could become a mason, where you're out there laying bricks, doing stone masonry or cement finishing. You could become a construction manager because you're going to have experience and leadership skills that you developed in the Army. You could become a general contractor where you can go out there and possibly start your own construction business. And then there's going to be apprenticeships and trade union opportunities. And your time in the Army as a 12 whiskey, this will count towards experience requirements. And plus, the Army will help you earn certifications through programs like the Army Cool, and that stands for Credentialing Opportunities Online. And you might leave with credentials like the OSHA safety cards, the NCCER certifications, or various carpentry licenses. Now let's talk about the benefits of becoming a 12 whiskey. So why would someone pick this MOS over the other jobs? Well, here are some of the advantages. One, there's hands-on work. So if you hate the idea of sitting behind a desk all day, then this MOS might be for you because it is all about moving, lifting, cutting, and building. You get tangible results. So unlike some jobs where progress is hard to measure, as a 12 whiskey, you can literally see the results of your work, whether it's a building, a wall, or some structure that you put together. There is civilian crossover. So this MOS lines up perfectly with well-paying civilian trades. And you're not just Army trained, but you are job ready for life after service. And then there's your contribution to the mission. So every soldier needs a place to live, work, and train. And engineers, including the 12 whiskeys, they make all of that possible. So your work directly supports readiness. Now, of course, no job is perfect, and here are some of the challenges that come along with being a 12 whiskey. One, it is physically demanding. So you're going to be out there lifting heavy materials and working in all types of weather. There's the field conditions you're going to have to deal with. So sometimes you're going to be building in rough environments, even in combat zones. This job can be repetitive because you're going to find yourself out there fixing a lot of doors or patching sidewalks, and it might feel routine. Then there's deployments. So as an engineer, you're likely to deploy more often than some other support MOSs. But many soldiers, they do find the rewards far outweigh the challenges, especially with the career opportunities that follow. All right, so who exactly should consider becoming a 12 whiskey? So this MOS might be a good fit if you enjoy working with your hands, you like building and fixing things, you don't mind physical labor, you want a career path that the Army doesn't require starting from scratch, and you take pride in seeing real results from your work. Now, if you're more interested in computers, office work, or non-physical jobs, then this MOS might not be for you. But if you've ever built something and felt proud to stand back and say, hey, I made that, then this job you might actually succeed in. All right, so let's quickly talk about life after service. So many former 12 whiskeys, they transition into careers in construction, union jobs, or even running their own businesses. Some do go into federal contracting, working for companies that build and maintain military facilities worldwide. Others, they use their GI Bill benefits to go to trade schools or earn degrees in construction management, engineering, or architecture, or they take their Army experience to the next level. And another big bonus, civilian employers, they often value Army engineers because they know you've been trained to work under pressure, follow safety protocols, and deliver quality results. All right, so let me go ahead and wrap all this up. At the end of the day, the 12 Whiskey MOS is about more than carpentry and masonry. It's about being the soldier who literally builds the Army's foundation. One wall, one road, and one infrastructure at a time. It's a job where you can see the results of your labor, gain valuable skills, and walk away with a career path for life. So whether you stay in for 4 years or 20, you'll know you've contributed something solid to the Army mission. So if you ever wanted to mix a little sawdust with your service or pour concrete while serving your country, then the 12 Whiskey MOS just might be the perfect fit for you.